Okay, so today is part 2 of NS1c, and today we are going to be dividing mixed numbers. So our topic is I can divide mixed numbers. So, for example, if we have 2 1/3 divided by 3 4/5. We know from our work yesterday that each of these are called mixed numbers. Now, when we are dividing mixed numbers, the first thing that we need to do is convert mixed numbers to a fraction greater than 1. That is step 1. That is the thing that we need to do first. So if I have 2 1/3, okay, you may have figured out that the quick way to do that is 2 times 3 and then add the 1. So, for example, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so we have 7/3. Divided by 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 4 is 19 fifths. You might be going, whoa, wait a minute, Mrs. Johnson, I don't know how you just did that. Okay, let me show you with the model, just so that we're clear. Okay, so with the model, I have 2 wholes, right, that are broken into thirds, so 2/3. And that's 3 out of 3 and 3 out of 3. And then I had one that was not a full. I had 1/3. 1/3. If you see all of those here, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7, 7/3. That is the same as 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7/3. And I did the same thing over here. I have 3 wholes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have all of them. So that's 5 out of 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 5. 3 wholes. That's 5 out of 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have and 4/5. Now this is exactly what we did yesterday. And you can see that I have 1, 2, 3 5s. 3 5s is 15, so I have 15 parts plus 4 more. That's 19 parts out of the 5 it takes to make a full group. So with the modeling, I get the same answers as I do here. This is just a little quicker way to do it if you haven't already discovered that on your own. You can do 3 times 5 is 15 plus the 4 is 19. Or if you still need to model, you can still feel free to model. But these things get me the same answers. Okay, so I'm going to just rewrite that down here. 7/3 divided by 19 fifths. Okay, so that's my original problem. I took my mixed numbers and I changed them into fraction greater than 1. Now once I have a fraction greater than 1, it's the same process as dividing fractions. So my step 2 then would be do the reciprocal of divisor, which makes it a multiplication problem. So reciprocal, so I would rewrite 7/3. The division is going to become multiplication, and 19 fifths, the reciprocal of that is going to be 5/19. Okay. Step 3 then is multiply and simplify if needed. So multiply straight across. 7 times 5 is 35, and 3 times 19. Now, if you're not sure about 3 times 19 in your head, you could, of course, do a multiplication chart, or just off to the side of your paper somewhere, you could just write out 19 times 3 and get the answer. 9 times 3 is 27, 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. My answer would be 57. Okay, so my answer then is 35/57, which I cannot simplify. No, that cannot be simplified, so that would be my final answer. Okay, let's take a look at one more of those problems before I turn you loose on your own. Okay, so let's take a look at 3 2/5 divided by 1 2/3. Again, if we look at step 1, we need to convert that. If we look at step 1 up here, I need to actually write that one. Convert mixed numbers to a fraction greater than 1. So these mixed numbers I need to convert to a fraction greater than 1. Okay? So 3 2/5 is going to be turned into a fraction greater than 1. So again, the little trick I kind of showed you before, 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 2 is 17. So that would be 17 over my original denominator of 5, divided by 1 2/3, which I need to turn to a fraction greater than 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5, so that would be 5/3. Now I have just a regular division problem with fractions, so I'm going to make that a multiplication problem. So 17/5 times 5/3 becomes 3/5 because of my reciprocal. 3 times 17. So again, if I'm not sure, I can use a multiplication chart, or I could just come off to the side, do 17 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5, 51. So 3 times 17 is going to equal 51. And then the bottom, 5 times 5 is going to equal 25. Now you'll notice here, while I cannot simplify by dividing the numerator and the denominator by a number, what I can do is make this into a mixed number. If we have 51 over 25, hopefully what you saw yesterday was that you can just divide. So I can pull out 2 groups of 25, and that would be 50, leaving me with 1/25 left over. So that would be my final answer.